this recording. Okay, there's participants. It's just us so far. I'm not sure that we have the link yet. It's in my.
This is live. So we'll be right there in just a second. We're getting set up for you. Welcome, yogis. We're getting it checked in, and we had a little bit of technical difficulties finding the meeting. So probably some of you did too. So we'll find out in just a second. And hang tight, fix yourself up a space on the mat and get comfortable, set aside anything that might distract you while we spend our time together. And looking forward to sharing some flow with you and some meditation and some breath work and all the things we do. So hang tight. We'll see you in a moment. Or hang loose and we'll see you when we see you. Hello, if you're just signing in, just hang tight for just a moment. I think the notifications went out late, or we had some technical difficulty, but I think everybody's getting their notifications. People are signed up for class, so we're just going to start in a little bit, but I'm going to just hold space right here for just a second and go ahead and fix yourself up a spot in the room on your mat. And we're looking forward to spending some time with you in our practices of moving, breathing, meditating. We'll go through all those spaces in just a minute. We'll get started in just a little bit. We're checking in the last of those who are joining. So if you've joined already, just fix yourself up a space on your mat and we'll begin here in just a moment. We had a little bit of technical difficulty to begin, so we'll all catch up to each other here in just a few. No.
Really nice part. I can check participants on them before I pose or something.
Okay. No. What's your begin? Do they have to be checked in there?
Well, no, it just checks me into my body. But I mean, that doesn't. Yeah. Sure.
Go ahead and join us.
Okay.
Okay, hi everybody. We'll begin here. Hey, if your microphones are on, you can go ahead and mute those if you want to mute your audio. And begin here. So let's begin. Sorry for the late delay. We're still working out the bugs on how to do this in a way where we can all catch the right amount of time to prepare for practices. I'm speaking of. So make yourself a space on the mat and well, let's begin in child's pose and let's get right to it today because we've spent a little bit of time just getting adjusted. So Beginning on your mat, set your knees wide to the sides. Walk your hands forward, lengthening out through your spine. Oh, I'm gonna scoot this. That's not gonna work. And soften through your body and begin connecting with your breathing. Deepen your breath as you breathe. Okay, this is how we'll spend the next hour of our lives together, connecting over our practice. So as you soften your body, set your knees wide to the sides. Take one more little stretch forward, walking your fingers forward, lengthening out through your spine, just creating a lot of space on your mat as we begin to connect with each other and our breathing and our practice today. We'll begin by breathing deeply in through your nose, into your center, open up a large space inside. And as you exhale, contract and shrink and recede, just release the form and give it back to the earth. So through a series of deep breaths in through the nose, into our centers and slowly back out, we'll begin to unpack and we'll begin to settle. And we say often in a slow flow class anyway, that it's by, when we come to a place of stillness, it's by layers and layers and layers, all the things that are traveling with us, the busy mental energy, the things occurring around us in our field, in our lives, all the stuff that are working with us and all part of our creation together. When we come into a place of stillness or to our practice, those things are all traveling with us in our stories about them. So let's just begin by deepening our breath. We activate the Ujjayi breath, form a constriction in the back of the throat. So as air travels in through the nose and into your center, it creates an audible sound of wind rustling through branches, waves on the beach, air traveling through a slightly restricted space in the back of the throat into your centers and slowly out. We'll deepen these breaths for just a moment as we breathe in and out and in and out. And we spend some time deepening this breath as it'll be our reference in our as we continue through our movements. It's a vinyasa flow today. We just slow it down a little bit, creating a lot of space for our awareness around our transitions, a lot of space for our awareness to increase around our senses once we're in the posture. So in the posture and along the way, we're continually practicing increasing our awareness through our senses of all the things occurring. So when we come into these still, deep, and trained spaces as such together, it gives us the opportunity to really settle and to let go of all the things that we've been carrying either in life or just in the morning, just today, this day. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, deep breaths in and slow breaths out, and begin to notice anywhere there's tension in your body. We've been in this posture for just a minute. So we can meet our needs in this posture through awareness if we start to notice what's occurring. Anywhere there's stiffness or tension, where are we still holding ourselves up and away from the floor? In this posture, we just soften through our bodies, lengthening our spine, allowing our hips to recede and relax into our heels. We just take up the space that is available to us as we focus on breathing, increasing our awareness of the things we can notice. Notice your thoughts, notice your thinking, notice the busy mind that's traveling with all of us everywhere we go. We all have that. That's a strength and an asset. And we can also practice moving a little bit beyond the busyness and thoughts of our mind into the deeper experiences we all have when we slow down and notice. So we practice noticing. So just notice the thoughts, allow them to settle. If we focus on our breathing, taking deep through the nose and into our centers and slowly back out, the thoughts settle. The mental activity slows and settles. So we continue to focus on this deep breath in through the body and slow breath back out. Anywhere there's tension, take a moment to soften around it and just give the form and the weight and physical effort of your body into the floor, into the earth, down into the mat. Deep breaths in through the nose and slow breaths back out. On the inhale, we receive everything we need. We receive vitality, healing, restoration,
nurturing, guidance, provision, peace, harmony. On the exhale, release, soften, settle. Just allow yourself to be in this practice for the next hour that we spend together. And if you need to rest or if something happens, deal with it and then just come back to practice. We're all learning how to practice in our homes and teach in our homes, connect in our homes. And that's been what we've been up to for every single day since we began to take distance from each other. So while we might be physically distanced from one another, we're always connected. There's a part of us that we all share. So we practice breathing into that space and start showing up that way, into our center, into the things that we sense and feel. So breathe in and out, deep breaths in and slow breaths out. We'll begin to transition as we take movement, traveling from posture to posture. So on the next breath in, take a full breath in, and on the exhale, walk your hands forward, coming up to your hands and knees for tabletop. Slow mindful transitions. Travel at the rate and speed of that slow breath that you're breathing. Throughout class today, if we get into some postures and they become a lot, if they become a lot to experience, just notice it. We can always take rest. We can return back to our hands and knees or down into a child's pose or in a downward dog if you're in our standing flows. Whatever you need to do, this is your practice. We're here to share that time together. So from tabletop, press your hands evenly into the mat, strengthen through the arms, hug your belly up and in towards the spine, rock forward and back, and just find your center here where the shoulders stack above the wrists, the hips above the knees, bring the toes together behind, hug your ribs in towards your center and strengthen through the core, offering a nice flat, straight spine. Press gently through the hands, gently through the knees, and allow energy to come up into your posture. So we create energy, harness it in our pose by breathing, by noticing where we are physically in the posture, noticing the things that come up, like maybe we find ourselves in complaints or we have negative thoughts or even positive ones. Our minds are always working. So in this practice, we use the breath to come back to where we are and enlist the sensations, the other things that we're feeling. So press the hands into the mat, strengthen through the pose, hug your belly in and strengthen, exhale and release some tension as you just give your weight back into the floor. So we're still in tabletop with a straight spine. And I just want to point out here that when we press into postures, when we get into a form, it's not rigid, it's not locked out. It's just the constant process of moving into that strongly, using our energy enough to find our ways to be in the posture for duration as we continue to breathe. And even where there's complaint or tension, we allow that story to change a little bit. We give ourselves a little bit of space and a little bit of time as we reconnect with breath. And we notice the tension resolves, the mind settles, we get deeper in our spaces. So let's begin to practice helping the chin up, relaxing at the spine. Just allow this tension in the spine to release as your hips tilt up, pressing through the palms, bringing the chest forward and up, chin straight ahead, and then exhale, arch your back to neutral, tabletop. Take a deep breath in, just pressing gently, staying in your form, and then on the exhale, press the mat, send your spine up high. So a little press down through the hands and knees and shoelaces sends energy up to the highest point in your spine. Relax your neck. Now let's breathe through it back to neutral position. No tabletop, straight spine. Press the palms, strengthen through the arms. Notice how the elbows will tilt slightly in as your arms begin to support more of your weight as they begin to strengthen. Deep breath in, slow breath out. We'll go through a cycle of cat-cow. Okay, so on the inhale, press the mat, look straight ahead. Soften through the spine as you look straight ahead and up. Exhale, arch your back, press your mat all the way through, sitting the spine up high. On the next breath in, come all the way through. Our chin forward and up for cow pose. Exhale, arch your back, press the mat for cat. Lift your belly up towards your spine. Let the energy travel up through the shoulders to the mid-back. Inhale through the nose, full breath in. Take a large breath in as you press your hands forward and heart forward and up. Exhale, come back through to neutral position. Take a breath in and take a breath out. We're still prepping for a flow today, so on the inhale, raise your right hand up high. We just get the right hand up above our body, and while we give the weight of our posture back into the three things that we have at the mat, our left hand down, our left knee, our right knee, our shoelaces behind us, press gently through that as the right shoulder rolls back, reaching up through the right arm, through the fingers. Now remember, hug your ribs in, strengthen at the core as you twist. Let's take a full breath here, wherever you are in your breath, take it to the top. And on the exhale, we'll lower the hand underneath the belly, reach the hand through the body, behind the left arm, and lower the right shoulder down, opening up a deep right shoulder stretch. Extend the left hand forward, lengthening through the left side of the body. And here you can see Michelle behind me from another perspective. Her right shoulder is down on the floor, creating space and length along that right arm as she reaches through the fingers. The left arm forward is translating along the left side of her body, opening up that left side stretch. We spend a lot of time getting into our side bodies. Keep breathing in our side bodies. If we don't practice accessing that, we're always sitting and slumping, or when we practice moving into our body with awareness more fully, we find those spaces where we can live our life. We all need to lengthen through the midsection, through the sides of our bodies. So breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Let's take one more breath here. Breathe in, breathe out. On your next inhale, let's draw the arm back underneath us to support ourselves. Place the left hand down. Draw the right hand underneath and through, placing it down under the mat. Left hand, rock forward and back. Find your place in your tabletop. Your movements, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. On your next inhale in, let's raise the left hand high. Now we open up the left side. Raise the left hand up high. The rest of what we find to work with here, we press through the floor, sending energy up through the body, raising the left hand up. Breathe in, breathe out. Noticing there's tension in ways that we can maybe soften up around where we find ourselves. And if we press through our foundations and allow ourselves to get out of the way physically, that energy can move us into deeper aspects of where we are in our physical practice. So breathe in, make space, inhale. On the exhale, let's lower the left hand down underneath the body through, walk, touching the left shoulder down, and walk the right hand forward, lengthening through the right side of the body. If you press gently with the right hand, the hips travel in the opposite direction, rearward. Soften through the body as you move into the pose. Breathe in to your body, through your nose, open up space, and exhale, back out. Through the nose. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. All right, on the inhale, begin walking the right hand closer towards your body. Press your hand palms down for support. Draw the left hand underneath the body, placing the left hand down next to the right as we move back into tabletop. So any pose that we enter into is a pose worth moving into fully, using all of our tools to create awareness around the posture. So breathe in, look straight ahead, relax at the spine, hips up. Exhale, press the mat, arch your back for cat pose. Another deep breath in, looking straight ahead. Take a full breath, circulating breath and energy and prana through your body. Exhale, arch your mat. Hips come up high, downward dog. We're traveling on. Press the mat, roll over your toes. Allow the legs to soften, the calves to soften as your heels touch down a little closer to the mat. Rock forward and back. Find your place in the posture and then recede back into it. So press the palms forward with your fingers spread wide. That will send energy up through this arm and the side bodies, traveling up high to the base of the spine and the hips. From there, allow your legs to soften as your heels touch down a little bit closer to the earth. If we find ourselves being bound in the shoulders, we can soften around the resistance by pressing through the hand palms and fingers, allowing your elbows to toe in a little bit, bringing length through the body. So we're not so much stacked up like a push-up. We're a vibrant flow of energy from our palms and fingers through our body, all the way up high to our spine and back down towards our heels. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We won't get stuck here, I promise. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. And notice your thoughts here, and just notice. Without dialoguing back to ourselves or engaging that conversation, we can just notice that that's what we're thinking about, and we deepen our conversation using other senses besides the busy mind. So the sensation of space opening up in the body as we pull our breaths in, the feelings that create as energy circulates through us, releasing our blockages, setting us free from repetitions. So deep breath in, open up a space. We find it with every breath. We remake our postures with every breath. If we're stuck and rigid, I promise we have the opportunity to shift around it and get out of the way and find a new way to be. This is our practice, breath by breath by breath. The mat is a metaphor. We're working it out in these physical poses. We come off these mat and we go through life, and it's still. So deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Everywhere we go, there we are. That's our practice. So on the next inhale, press through the hands, send energy up high to the spine. Let's come up high to the toes as the hips come up high. Exhale, release your heels back down towards the mat, softening through the legs. Another deep breath in, lifting your belly up, pressing through the hands, allowing energy to transfer up high through the body as you come up high to your toes. Exhale, lower your heels down towards the mat. Soften and give it back to the earth. Now find your hands, find your feet. On the next inhale, press through your foundations as you raise your right leg up above your body. So with the right leg up high, we use our two hands forward, our left leg behind us. A gentle press forward sends energy up through the body, stacking back into that left leg. That left leg behind us is foundational strength. Strengthen that leg. Bring it to perspective as your very valuable part of your foundation. Circles through the ankle, loosen up the right foot. Circle to the right. Circles to the left, loosening up that ankle. Lower the right heel back down towards the mat as you release. Find your foundations. Use all 4 points. Sit up high. On your next inhale, the left leg comes up high above the body. Raise it up. Pressing through the two hands forward, sending energy up through the left leg, circles at the ankle. Breathe in and breathe out. Find your foundations, find your hands and that right foot behind your body, strengthen through the leg. Notice as you are there in your foundations, everything else will settle around it. So deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Lower the left foot down to the other. Give it all back to all fours. 2 hands forward, 2 feet behind the body. If you keep breathing, you'll have everything that you need in each posture. If you need to rest, you can rest. This is your practice. So press back into the foundations of your pose, back into your downward dog. On the next inhale, pick the right leg up high, extend it up high above the body, and again, we'll bend the right knee, drawing the heel in towards the hips. As we do this, the right hip stacks up above the left. Now press through the 2 palms forward and that left leg behind the body. To send energy up high towards that right hip, bringing it in alignment above the left. Circles with the knee, broad strokes with the knee, opening up through that right hip socket. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Keep your breath moving. Breathe in and breathe out. Step the right leg up high, square it off, and then lower the right foot down slowly to meet the other. Stay in connection with that slow rolling breath into your body, making space and slowly back out. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. On your next inhale, press through the floor, send your left foot up high, above the body. Find your feet, your 2 hands forward, your foot behind the body. We'll draw the ankle in towards the hip, stacking the left hip high above the right. Broad circles with the left knee, opening up space in the left hip socket. Hug your ribs in, strengthen at the core. A strong core, a straight spine helps energy transfer efficiently through the body to all points of your foundations. Now extend the left leg up high again. Square it off by lowering your left hip a little bit, and then lower your left foot down to meet the other. Breathe in and breathe. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. On your next exhale, lower down towards your knee. Bringing the knees down towards the mat. Walking the feet, hands forward. Releasing tension through the spine as they come down, bringing our chest down towards the mat for puppy pose or heart melting pose. Just releasing a little bit of tension as you allow your hips to travel back towards your heels. Breathe in with your hands walking forward, making space, and a little bit more forward. Lengthen. So deep breath in, breath out. Okay, on your next inhale, yogis, let's walk the hands in transition back into our bodies to support us in all 4. Pressing through into your tabletop pose. Breathe in to your center and release your breath back out through your nose. On your next inhale, press through all 4 of your hands and feet, raising your hips up high to down dog. Again, press through all 4, sending energy up high through the spine, base of the hips. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's walk our hands back towards our toes, lengthening through our spine as we fold, forward fold. Look down towards your toes, reach through your spine, through your eyes, down towards your toes, and then allow your chest to get a little bit deeper towards your shins. Press through the feet, strengthening the legs a little bit, bringing energy up through the side of the body, around the horn, back down the spine, between your shoulders, and out the top of your head. Soften through your neck. Find your feet here. Bend a little bit at the knees, allowing the hips to travel rearward, back towards your heels as your knees bend, and enjoy the support and suspension legs. Find that vital way of being where we're really in transition here. We're allowing ourselves to just use our senses to meet our needs here, maybe lengthening through the spine and softening a little bit, releasing some tension, bending at the knees, lowering the hips a little bit. Find your support here, find your balance here, and connect through breathing in through your nose into your breath out. So take another breath in, breathe to the top, and as you exhale, give the weight of your body back down along your spine as you fold fully forward. Press through the feet to strengthen through the legs. So press gently, not too much, just establish foundations. With intent, press, create energy up into your body to support yourself in the posture. Hug your belly up towards your spine. Release tension along the spine, between the shoulders. Allow your hands to just graze the mat and to be supported with the earth. In through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. As we take our next breath in, gently nod your head yes, releasing the tension in a forward movement, front to back with your head. And as you exhale, allow your head to hang down from your neck, and it's on the way. On the next breath in, take a full breath in, and we'll also articulate our neck from side to side, moving left to right. Deep breaths in and slow out. Allow your head to settle and rest between your shoulders. Walk your hands in. Let's come up through a flat back extension. So bringing movement and breath into our form, a parallel flat spine. Exhale the hands back to the mat. Soften through the spine as you bow forward. Now rise up, flat back extension. Press through the feet to bring energy up through the legs. We transition that forward through the spine, hugging the ribs in for support. And rotate your hands here towards the center and externally, out towards the sides. Just articulating through the shoulders, taking opportunity to make space for the shoulders, to release tension through the shoulders as we go, as we travel. So take a deep breath in, strengthening through the legs by pressing through the feet. Draw it up through your center, along your spine, out through the crown of your head, and then exhale your hands down towards the mat. Release the tension through the spine, layer by layer. Just release everything tight through the spine, from the hips on down to the crown of your head. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. On the next inhale, let's roll up one vertebrae at a time towards standing and get a new perspective here. So as we press through the floor, we gently roll up through the spine, and as it travels up to the base of our neck, up through the head as we look straight ahead. Hands are at the sides, palm face forward. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And as we transition in the pose, allow your movements to settle, and we come back into the posture by being at the base of our foundation, base of our posture. Give all the weight of the body straight down into the floor of the feet where it meets the earth. On your next breath in, press there, strengthening through the calves and thighs, rolling the tailbone under, hugging the ribs in, strengthening at your core, engaging your bandha by drawing in through your base, up through the spine, between the shoulders. Send energy through the shoulders, away from your body, back down through your arms as you flex your biceps and forearms, reaching through the fingers, sending energy all the way out to the edge of your physical form, your skin, your yana. So we reach a little bit beyond the physical space we're creating. As you continue to breathe deeply in through your nose, into your centers, and slowly back out, creating heat and energy for our experience, a place that we can increase our awareness around. So we continue to deepen our breath here, strengthening our bodies. We're creating heat and energy. We draw our focus inward there. As we begin to travel in with our breath, with intention to remain in that space we are creating, as we increase around our breathing And as we recede around our breath, softening through the bodies, but yet we're still in our form. We're still well supported. We're doing just enough to be here sustainably. If we're overpressing, we're doing too much work. If we're not noticing what we're doing, we're in our minds, we're doing some work somewhere else, in our past, our futures. This is where. So to be here, just be where the feet are. Press through the feet, strengthen through the calves and thighs, sending energy, vitality up through the body. Hug your ribs in, harness that. Continue on with that, up through your center, through the heart, through the neck, through the speech, up through the crown of the head. Reach away from the shoulders, strengthening. Notice how much that can be. We equate this, the yogis equate this to being an example of our abundance. Abundance. These are the things always occurring with us, yet we seldom notice. We're in our busy lives. But we all, fortunately, amidst all of what's occurring socially and around the world, I have also been blessed with the opportunity to settle all those layers of all that stuff that's been coming with us for lives. Keep breathing, yogis. This is a great place to be, mountain pose. But all of these things coming with us for all of our lives, all of us have a version of this story. Man, if I could just sidestep that for a minute, I could get into my deeper life's work. I could find my purpose. I can do the things that bring me my family joy. So there's no more stories about that in there right now. We just get to simply be. And this is a great opportunity to do that for ourselves, find ourselves today. And this practice, this is a great practice to help us to continue that work. We don't know how to do this yet, yogis. We don't know how to be in our homes for a duration. Or we don't know how to operate around schools not being open to be with our children. We get to do all that. So notice your thoughts. Notice the place that puts you in. Just notice it. And without continuing that story, let's come back physically into our practice. Energizing with our breath. Breathe into the center. It doesn't matter where we've just been. Let's come back to here now. Get the weight of your body down through the floor. Strengthen through the calves and thighs. Roll your tailbone under. Energize your pose by sending energy up through your spine, between your shoulders as you reach away from your shoulders. Palms face forward. So we get to be here a while. So we get to be here a while. So we get to be here a while. So send that energy up through the top of your head, and then exhale, soften. Things are changing. Soften your body. Take a deep breath in and raise your hands up high above your body. Reach up high, reaching up, up, up. Press through the floor to send energy up, up, up. Travel up with it, creating space and lift up through the body. We haven't been here yet. There's still more. Keep pressing at the root of your foundation, sending energy up high through your body, through your fingertips. One more deep breath in. Press through the floor to send energy up. Move into the space that creates. And on the exhale, bow to the right side with your hands above your body, opening up a stretch along the left side of your body. Bow pose. Press through the floor to send your energy up high. Breathing in, reaching. And as you exhale now, you can lower your right hand down the right side, softening a little bit, just doing that stretch. Stay well rooted at the feet, strong through the legs, lengthening through the side body, offering that length through that left shoulder, through the left arm, through the left fingers, soften around it. Take a full breath in to meet the left hand with your right, raise it up. Meet the hands together high above the crown of your head. Press to the floor, reaching up high. Exhale, lower to your left side of your body as you soften throughout. Opening up a deep stretch. Now press through the floor to bring form to the edge of your body on this right side. That helps us stack our weight up over our body. It creates suspension if you think about it that way. Send it up through the shoulder, through the arm, through the fingers, and then soften through the left side of your body on the exhale. Lower your left hand down the left side of your body. Stay vital in your feet, pressed into the floor, strong through the legs, lengthening through your core, sitting up high through your body as it rounds the corner towards your fingertips. On the inhale, pick the left hand up high, reach up, press the floor, send all that energy and length up through your spine to the highest point in the pose. On your exhale, bow, bring your head down, hands down towards your feet, softening through the spine, receding back into the floor. Take a couple breaths, allowing things to shift and change. We can bend our knees here now, lowering our hips just a little bit, lengthening through the spine. We walk our hands in maybe towards our feet a little bit. We can send energy and lift up through the body, allowing the curvature of the spine to open along through the shoulders. Just anything that we can do here, release tension through the body in a transitory moment. We have what we need here. Press through the feet, strengthen through the legs, bring strength back to the legs, Take a full breath in and bow forward, bringing your chest down towards your shin. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. On your neck, keep your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Bring the hands together behind the back. Interlace your fingers, bring them up high above the body. Now press the floor with the feet, strengthening through the legs, rounds around the hips, along the spine. On your next exhale, bring your chest down towards your shins and allow your fingers to travel up a little bit higher above your body. So they're vertical, your arms are vertical up above your body. Even if your palms are resting on the back of your hips, it's vertical in representation. It's above your feet. So we work on that vertical space. So we press through the floor, sending vertical energy up through the legs. It rounds around the corner, back along the spine, and we send that back up through the shoulders again. A little bit of energetic press to the floor will do that work of helping our hands reach up high above the body. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's release the tension through the fingers. Release your bind, your grip. Slowly bringing your hands down towards the mat slowly. Try not to spring. Touch down with your hands to support your weight. On the next inhale in, rise up, flat back extension. Exhale, bow forward. In this forward fold, find your feet. Bend at the left knee, giving the weight over towards your right foot. So we're using more of our right foot to support ourselves now. That'll shift us a little bit. So press through the right foot to strengthen the right leg to support the majority of our physical body. Here, on the next inhale, extend the left leg up for standing needle on the right side. As that left leg comes up high, we can walk our hands back towards our shin, or just keep our hands placed on the floor. There's no perfection in this. We're not achieving. We're not working for achievement. We're working for staying directly connected with the available energy that we have in our sensation and awareness around. We all sense things differently. We all have different proprioceptive sensations about where we are. So it's good to use words like up, down, in, out. How we all work it out individually is beautiful. We all get to do that differently and perfectly. So press through the floor of the right foot. Give one last little bit of energy up high through that left leg above the body, and then exhale, lower that left foot down and move the other. Walk your feet left and right, loosening up the calves and hamstrings, just releasing any stuck energy. It becomes bound and fixed when we're in something physically for a while, or we're in a form. It could even be a thought form that creates tension, stuck energy, places where we can get stuck. So we just focus on keeping the energy moving this Friday. Bend at the right knee, giving the majority of the weight over to your left leg. As you press through the left foot, strengthening that left leg for support. We can now pick up our right foot behind our body, folding forward, bringing our chest a little closer towards our knees. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, deep breath and slow breaths out. Notice anywhere there's movement here, all those little movements throughout the body. If we focus on deepening our breath, those movements will settle and we spend less energy off into the peripherals, and we retain more energy more towards our center, where it's more usable, where we have everything that we need. When we get stuck in our minds specifically, when we spend all of our time up in this thought energy and we forget to practice healing and resting and meeting our needs and being honest about what we're experiencing, when we just forget to slow down, we get stuck and bound in so many places. We spend so much energy there. We don't have what we need to just sit up straight or to crack a smile. So breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. We can come out and lower the other foot back down towards the mat. Bend at the knees. Remember, use your legs to support yourself. Settle into the strength and suspension of your legs. And then on your next inhale, press the floor, straighten up through the legs, energy up through the legs, up on the spine, down the spine, between the shoulders as you bow. Bring your head a little closer towards the mat. One more breath in here as you rise up to flat back extension. Press your feet to strengthen your legs, strengthen your spine. Exhale your hands to the mat, bow forward. Let's roll up one more time. Press to the floor, rise up through the spine as you reach your hands up high towards the ceiling, rolling up high. Continue on up to the top of your breath, and then exhale. Place your hands down towards the mat. Walk hands forward to lengthen into your Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Take a full breath in. Remember, pressing through all 4 points. Your hands forward, your feet behind you. Offer that energy up high towards your spine. As we soften and get out of the way, exhale, release, remain. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. On your inhale, we're picking the right leg up. So we're moving on. Press through 3 points to send your right leg up high and bring your right foot through to meet your hands. Lower the left knee down for a low runner's lunge on the left side. Right side. Walk the hands in towards the foot, pressing energy back towards along the left line, back towards the toes. Maybe rock forward and back a little bit, just deepening your stretch through the thighs, throughout the leg. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Now let's walk our hands in so we align our spines vertically up through our bodies, drawing energy in from our feet, from our stance, from our foundations at the floor, up through the body. So as we draw in, hug your ribs in. Notice that creates length up through the body, between the shoulders. Relax the hands at the sides, soften through the shoulders. Just let your hands hang under their own weight, underneath your shoulders. Hug your ribs in, strengthening through the core, lifting up through the spine. Send your heart slightly forward. Notice anywhere there's tension created, or maybe send your heart rearward, back towards that rear leg. Notice anywhere there's tension created. Now let's split the difference and find the most workable version of that as we lift vertically up through the spine. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. On the next deep breath in, let's pick the hands up high above the body. Reach up high, sending energy through the sides of your body, through the arms, drawing it inwardly from the floor, up high through the body. One more breath here, wherever you find yourself. Roll through the breath, coming up to the top of your breath, at the very top, tip top, all the way up, fill up, lower your hands down towards the mat. Walk the right foot out towards the edge as you slowly lower, coming down to the dragon pose. So we can place our elbows or forearms down into the blocks. Maybe we're using our hands here, maybe that's enough. Take the time over a series of breaths to move into the posture to establish a foundation. And remember, things change over time. So if we go looking for new places where we can go, we open up new spaces. We begin to find ways of being there. All of us would have a story about how we can't get to where we're going. That's a human nature thing. This is a practice of reminding ourselves that we have what we need to get everywhere we're going. So breathe in, breathe out, deep breaths in, breaths out. Notice anywhere you're moving. Settle the movements. Stay connected with this deep breath, this deep cycle of breath coming in through your nose, into your center, and slowly back out. Notice the shoulders. Is there any tension throughout the shoulders? If we remember to press enough through our foundations, like our elbows and forearms, energy will travel through the shoulders and along the spine to meet the energetic support of our left leg behind our body. Maybe your left knee is down and you're modified, or maybe that left leg is strong. Hug your ribs in to strengthen through the spine. Bow your head at the neck, releasing tension through the neck. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Deep breaths in and slow out. On your next inhale, we'll pick the right hand up high. Let's raise it up above the body. And as we do this, we'll do this work by finding it at the floor. We'll press the floor through our foundations. And as we get out of the way, opening up new spaces each moment of our practice, that energy can travel up high through the body, stacking our right shoulder above the left. Now, if we drift off, if we're not active and aware in our practice here, we can slump into our shoulders. We can start to slump down into the shoulders. That spends a lot of valuable energy. We can be here if we press just enough. And if you keep breathing out through the nose, you'll continue to find energy to open up space, to allow things to change. Most of our energy in life is spent on trying to create ways that we don't have to change. With enough practice, we realize it's the easiest thing that we can do, and if our choice is around it, often it's just the perspective and the way we're looking at things. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. We're transitioning. On your exhale, lower the right hand back down towards the mat. Place both hands together down at the mat as you walk your right foot in towards your center. So maybe setting up a compass pose so we can step the left foot slightly forward if we need to. We just want to be well supported by both legs with both toes forward. So as we press through both feet gently, that sends energy up through the spine. And as we bow forward, bringing our chest down towards the shin, We give that back down towards the floor. So as we're continually in this pose, the physics involved is at the floor, energy is traveling up through our body, supporting us, and we're also sending it back down through the body, through the arms and hands, back into the earth. So as this breath continues to cycle through our body, we're continually rebuilding the pose. We're not doing anything. The energy's moving. The energy's traveling. We're noticing that about ourselves, and we're realizing that everywhere we're stuck or where we're working too hard, we're interrupting that flow of energy. So when we interrupt the flow of energy, things get stuck, things get tense, things get dark. Fair enough, they break, or we become ill. So our practice is a vital practice of allowing ourselves to stay connected with our available energy. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, deep breaths in, slow breaths out. Let's walk the left hand in towards the right foot. So we now have three things to support ourselves. Our right foot forward, our left foot behind the body, and left hand down. Raise the right hand high as you revolve into a twist. And let's find that workable space. Let's find that workable space. As you're well supported, press energy up through the body, up high towards that right hand. And we find that workable space. So it doesn't matter how we moved into the position. We all make this pose often. Maybe we're just not learning it. It doesn't matter. What we think about it, we practice showing up into it each time, using where we arrive at to enlist our foundations, to support us, energize up through the body, offer that up through the left hand, through the fingers, high towards the ceiling. Breathe in through the nose and nose. And notice anywhere there's binding, where you might be feeling some stuck energy, just allow yourself to reconnect with breath. Breathe in, opening deep space, and exhaling and releasing. So deep breaths in and slow breaths out. On exhale, you can lower the right hand down towards the floor to support your weight. Step the right foot back behind the body, slowly. Find all 4 points, 2 hands or 2 feet. Press up to the body to send your hips up high, and then exhale, lowering the chest down towards the mat. Press through the floor, coming up to high plank. Exhale back down towards the mat. Rest into the floor. Give the weight of your body back down towards the earth. Walk your shoulders out towards or walk your hands out towards the sides of the body. And let's take a moment to recover, reconnecting with our breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Walk your hands out towards the sides of your body, creating length through the arms and shoulders. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, and begin settling the movements. Now walk the left hand in towards your shoulder. Place your left palm down on the mat. Press the left palm down on the mat to roll up on towards your right side as you walk the fingers away from your body. We're getting to the right side, so your right shoulder opener. Bend at the left knee, walking the left foot in behind the right knee. Connecting with the mat along the entire length of the right side of your body. Breathe in through the nose, and out through the nose. On your next inhale, pick your left hand up high above the body so that the left hand is stacked above the left shoulder and the right shoulder. Lower the right side of your head down towards the mat so the temple of your right temple is supported. The whole right side of your body is supported. Press through the points of your foundation to extend the left hand, the right hand up high, and we'll bend at the elbow, lowering the hand down towards the mid-back. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. And as you remain in the posture, notice your thoughts here as you breathe. In through your nose and into your center. Notice exactly what you're thinking about, and just notice. And we continue traveling, staying with our breathing, moving in through the nose into our centers, opening up a space. Anywhere there's movement, we settle that. We allow that to settle around this deepening breath. So it doesn't matter if we wander off, if we find ourselves in all the places that we can go, That breath always returns us back to where we are. Notice the right side of your body where you're physically connected with the mat. That's there for support. Give our weight into the support while breathing in, strengthening where we need to strengthen, softening where we can soften, to allow ourselves to be here most workably, creating space in that right shoulder. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. On your next inhale, we'll raise the left hand up high above the body so that the left hand is stacked above the left shoulder and above the right shoulder. Press through the right side of the body, create a little bit of millimeter left of length up towards your middle finger, up high towards the ceiling, and then lower that hand down towards the mat as you roll through across the front side of your chest. We're transitioning through the other side. Don't get ahead of yourself. Stay with your breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Walk the hands out towards the sides of the body. Walk the right hand in towards your right shoulder to support yourself. Press to the floor with that right palm, stacking up your right side above your left side. Place the left temple down onto the mat. Bend at the right, bend at the right knee and place it behind your left knee. Breathe into your nose now. Stay connected with the breath, making lots of space in the body. Use the breath as a vehicle, as a vessel to travel into your center. Stay with that breath and that swirling of energy traveling in through the body as it mixes with the movement of all things occurring in your body as you expand open with each breath and as you contract with each exhale. Things are happening, things are changing, space is being made, and we're contracting. Our breath is moving, and our breath is moving out, and our thoughts are busy, and our thoughts are still. We're both, we're everything. Notice that. Breathe into your nose and out through your nose. Notice your left shoulder, most importantly. We're making space in that left shoulder. So if we haven't been there, we're forgetting to be in the most important part of this posture. So breathe, circulate prana and vitality into your nose, into your center, throughout all aspects of your physical, your emotional, your energetic. All things occurring subtly around and within. If we stay with our breathing, following that breath to where it meets and connects with an intent to be there, all things around us begin to settle. All our participation with the externals, the people around us, the outside world, the occurring, the news, the things you're told. What's happening is where you are, around your choice. This space, that is your life, my life, our lives. Each of us get to practice being powerfully rooted in our space, in our lives, in our bodies, together, in the world. So breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Yogis, never has yoga been more relevant practice than now, right now, every now. Okay, the next inhale, pick the left hand up high. Press through the left side to send energy up the right side, high to the fingertips. Lower right hand back down towards the mat. We're coming down to the front side of our chest. Walk the right arm out towards the side. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Now begin to draw your elbows inward towards your sides while you walk your fingers up forward towards your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide with your thumbs pointed in towards one another. Walk your hands back towards your shoulders. Elbows in at your sides. Press your palms into the mat and send your front side of your chest up high. Seal pose. Press the floor. Send energy up to the front side of your chest. Lower back down towards the earth, bringing your chin down towards the mat. Press through the floor in an inhale, articulating up through the spine. Chest comes up. Exhale, chest lowers down towards the mat, elbows in towards the side, touching down. On the next breath in, press through the floor, sending energy up high through your arms and shoulders. As your chest comes up, chin up forward, remain here, lowering your elbows down, support yourself. Be supported by your thighs, forearms, pressing through the forearms and elbows to send energy up through the arms, into your shoulders, pressing through both sides equally, levels the shoulders at the mat, send energy up high through the neck towards the crown of your head, and then lower back down towards the earth. Bring your chest down towards the mat. On the next breath in, press the palms, look up, chin up high, heart up high. Exhale, lower down towards the mat, bring your chest down towards the mat. On the next inhale, we press through the mat for high plank pose, high push-up position. So press the mat to send energy up high through the body. And notice it's just an easy press into the floor, gets the work done over time to create lift up through your body as you rise up into a plank pose. Step the toes away from the body, lengthening through the spine. Hug your ribs in towards your center, strengthening through your core. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe lower the hips a little bit or raise them. Feel that as you do that, and find your space where you feel like you are most supported here. We are most lastingly supported here with the least amount of resistance or the least amount of rub or the least amount of friction. Maybe we can bring the knees down towards the mat and modify as Michelle is choosing. Press into your foundation, sending energy up high towards the spine. On your exhale, we'll lower our chest down towards the mat, elbows at the side, low plank. Inhale, press back up to high plank. Press the mat to create energy up through the body. Walk the left hand in towards your center side plank on the left side. So as we do this, we establish our foundations at that left foot, that left hand down, or if modified, left knee down. The object of our practice is to send energy up to the highest point of our body. That becomes supportive as well. We find support at our edges when we remember to fill up our body using all of it. Maybe here, if we continue with that available energy rising up high, the right foot can come up high, the right hand can come up high. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. And we'll lower our hands and feet back to the mat. Make sure you lengthen out through the spine and establish your press into your high plank so that we come from the place of the posture we meant to be in the first place. Elbows in towards the side as you lower, low plank. A gentle press rises us back to high plank. Strengthen your posture gently enough, just using what's available to be here. Exhale, lower, elbows in at your sides. Breathe into your nose and out through your nose. On the next inhale, press back up to high plank. Strong planks here. And then right hand center of the mat on the right side. If you're modified, take your modification. Or if you're in the right hand and your right foot, press through the right edge of the right foot to send energy up the left side of the body, high. Press that down into the earth, meeting with the right palm. Extend that energy up high through the body. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Exhale, hands and feet back to the mat. Lengthen through your body as you walk it out. Exhale, lower, elbows into your side. Come down towards the floor. Inhale, press up, up dog. And then roll over your toes. Hips up high. Heels low. Down dog. Breathe in through your nose. And out through your nose. Just keep breathing. On the inhale, we'll raise the right leg high, bring it up high. Let's bring it through to meet the hands for a warrior one on the right side. Before you travel through, keep your hands on the mat, right on the right foot. Bend at the right knee a little bit, or maybe press, maybe bend less. Whatever you need to do, find your feet, find your foundations, find your legs. Find that place in this posture. Since we're traveling slow, is the idea is that we find the things that we're normally blowing past because we're not practicing creating that much awareness around it. When we're in the posture for a minute, we begin to notice these little setups in our poses. We begin to notice all of these attributes that would serve us greatly in every aspect of our practice if we bring our awareness around, habitually creating the right foundation. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. We're traveling on, so we're coming up in full expression of warrior one. Just put the hands up above the head, reaching up high through the body. And like we do in all these classes, we find it at the floor, offered up high through the body, allowing our bodies to realign. And then we connect that with prana, with breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Take a full breath in. Extend forward, lengthen through the spine. Bend that right knee a little bit. Notice how that depth of your stance easily translates energy forward from the right foot back to that left foot that's still connected to the mat. The left edge of that left foot is vital to stay connected with the mat. If we do, it keeps us drawn in toward our center and toward the workability of our foundations here. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Release the hands down towards the floor. Bring them back behind your body. Interlace your fingers. On your next breath in, we're rising up. Lift up to your body. And then we bow forward, setting up a humble warrior. Right shoulder down towards the knee. Edging that right shoulder in towards the knee. Squares off our shoulders toward the front of the mat. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. We stay connected with that breath. And the same way in a variety of our expressions, those hands behind our body, those will come up a little bit higher above our shoulders. If we soften through the neck, bow the head, and allow the available energy to travel freely from the roots of our foundation, up through, along our spine, up through our shoulders and arms towards the ceiling. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Lower the hands down towards the mat. Place your hands down with the mat to support your weight. Step the left foot forward if you need to soften and adjust a little bit. Walk the hands in towards your foot and we'll right back up to warrior one. So we're moving back up, pull up from the floor, up through your body, raise it up. Breathe in through your nose and out through the nose. And bend that right knee, squaring up through the hips, lowering down the stance of the legs. Draw it inwardly up through the spine, between the chest, or between the shoulders, through the chest, through the heart, up through the neck and crown of the head. Take full breath in, and then open it up to warrior two. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. As we stack the shoulders above the hips, it doesn't matter how we wound up here, soften through the legs, find your stance, engage it, draw up through the body, hug the ribs in, as we travel vitally up through the body, we send it forward to that right hand, back to the left hand. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Take one more full breath here. Strong pause. We're just moving our bodies today. Exhale, window your left hand forward. We'll step the right foot back to a high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down, low plank. And I'll pass up off dog. Full breath in, slow movement. Exhale, roll over your toes, hip to up high. Heels low. Breathe in and breathe out. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Next inhale, left leg, rise it up. We bring it through to meet the hands, warrior one on the left side. Soften through the legs. Find your workable foundations here. Maybe we can lower through the hips or engaging the right side of that right foot behind the body, rooting us into our foundations. We're supposed to be vitally connected through the legs, along the spine. We bend the knee a little, we can lengthen. What more well supported. On the next inhale, walk up through the body, reach up high towards, gaze it up. Square it off by drawing the right shoulder forward, left hip back. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. Continually drawing energy inward, up through the body, up through the body, through the side body, through the shoulders and arms. Take a full breath in, reaching up high. On an exhale, we extend forward, lengthen through the spine, extending the warrior. Now here, if we reach too far, we start sending our energy forward, and we start binding up in that left leg, asking it to support us too much. What serves us best is to stay rooted in the rear leg, strong, flexing the left calf, right thigh. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. And if that draws us back in towards our posture, more towards our center, then we can, from this well-rooted foundation, we can press along the spine, send through the arms and fingers up forward to the body. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Lower the hands, lower underneath the body, draw them up behind the back. We set up for humble warrior. So hands down behind the back, rise up through the body, lift up to the front side of the chest, and then we bow forward, sending the hands up high above the shoulders as we bow. You can edge that left shoulder in toward the left knee. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breath and slow breath out. And notice where there's tension in your body here. If we just notice that acutely, we can allow energy to travel into other aspects of this physical pose. And when we do that, when we practice that, when we soften around the shapes we're making, these new ways we can be occur to us that we haven't occurred before. Lower the hands down towards the mat. Support your weight here with both hands. On the next inhale in, raise the hands up high above the body, setting up the warrior one. Reach up high, lengthen up through the body, draw your energy inward and up through the body, up along the length of the spine, all the way high through the arms, hands, and fingertips towards the ceiling. And then we'll open it up. Breathe in. And exhale, open it up. Warrior two on the left side. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Just keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Happy Friday, everybody. It's so good to be moving and breathing with you. Connecting over some yoga. One of these days, we'll get back into all being in the studios again. But right now, I'm just so fortunate we have time to connect together and continue to deepen our practices and learn things that we've learned to have the time. Spend time in places that we've learned to spend time here in our lives, with our children, in our hobbies, in our passions, in our life. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Deep breath in and slow breath out. As we release this, windmill right hand forward, stepping the left foot back. Let's lengthen out the spine through Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down, low plank. Slow on the exhale as you lower down. Inhale, press up, up dog. And roll over your toes. Down dog, hips up high, heels low, hands forward. 4 places to spend our time. And those are our 2 hands forward, our left feet behind our body. And then as we breathe in through the nose and as energy meets our body, we travel along and travel into places from the floor body, engaging the strength and support of the body when needed, and softening around places where we're spending energy, robbing ourselves from what's available in our present moment. So notice your thoughts, notice exactly what you're thinking about. Soften through your neck, let your head bow. It's supported by your neck. Just let your head hang. Breathe in and breathe out. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. On the next inhale, pick the right leg up high, raise it up high. And we'll bring it through to meet the hands. Hands are on the mat. Walk the left hand in towards the center. Extend the right hand up high. We take one more twist here. Open up a nice twist. Hug your ribs in as you valve open. Exhale the hands towards the mat. Support your weight. Step that right leg back to a high plank. Exhale, lower low plank. A full breath in. Inhale up. And then exhale, roll over your toes, downward dog. Press the floor to send your hands up high to your body. Soften and receive. Back down to your hands and feet. Find that workability of breath coming in. Energy flowing through the body. Doing enough just to stay supported here. On the next breath in, raise the left leg up high. Raise it up. Bring it through to meet the hand. Hands are on the mat. Walk the right hand in and meet the left foot. We'll revolve open on this left side. Pressing through those 3 points to open up and revolve here. Exhale the hands to the mat. We'll step the left leg back. Exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale, press up, up dog. Roll over your toes on the exhale, hips up high, heels down, low, downward dog. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Deep breaths in and slow breaths out. Notice your thoughts here. That is the engine that spins the energy away from our present moments. Everywhere we go. I want to say that there's no shame, no blame, there's no wrong in the way we think. The yogis are not here to change anything. We're just here to notice what we're thinking about, how we do, and also everything else occurring. So breathe in through the nose and out through the. Okay, here we go, traveling non-yogis. On the next inhale, right leg up high above the body. And then we'll bring it through right knee towards the right wrist, foot towards the other wrist. Let's walk the toes straight back as we walk our hands in towards our center. So as we find our support here, walk your hands in towards your side. If you need blocks here, if you have blocks in your practice, you can do that. We're just here for a second, but as we do, lift up through the body. Create usable space and lift up through the body before we go anywhere. So we're in transition into our pigeon pose, but we're not laying down on the floor yet. We're lengthening our spine, rooting from our foundations up through our body, drawing inward to create lift. Go many places. But let's walk our hands forward, bring the long spine down towards the body as we lengthen and lower down towards the floor. As we arrive, as we begin entering into the expression of the pose, it's by layers that things settle. So all the movements occurring, getting there, settles. All the thoughts, all the thinking of what we're doing, settle. As we connect with the breath, deepening our experience around that, taking what we need, and offering the rest of the exhale. so that we receive everything necessary for our lives with our breath in. As we exhale, we give it back. Anything unused, everything that we're done with in this moment, we exhale, release. Inhale, receive, open space. Be in that space, expand in that space. Send your energy all the way out to your edges. And as you exhale and soften, see energy, long, soft, easy, settle into the pose. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Exhale, slow back down. As we slowly start to come out, let's walk our hands in to support ourselves, creating a lift up through the body. If we've been in a posture for a deep, long time, which we haven't been, things go to sleep. So we want to remember to send energy through the experience to wake up in a posture so that we take what we need with us, the things that we do need. On the next inhale, press the earth, walk that right foot back behind the body as we transition out. We'll transition to downward dog with the other side, exiting this pigeon pose, stepping right foot back behind the body. Press into all 4 points of your foundation, sending energy and lift up high and staying pressed. Hold your form here. On the next inhale in, raise the left leg up high, raise it up. We'll bring left knee through the left wrist, foot towards the other wrist. Walk the hands in towards your center. So as we find the support of our foundation at our legs, walking our hands in, we can slowly release the amount of support we're using our hands for until we can draw it inwardly and be fully supported up through the spine. So there's no perfection in this. It's just directions that we can go, things we can place our awareness on, and usable aspects of our existence that we can take with us everywhere we go through our lives. If we don't go there, we don't know about it. We forget to do that about ourselves. We become these postures, these poses, these things we become in relationships, these things we become when we're sitting at a desk slumped over looking at a computer. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Lift up through the body, make up length through the spine. Now walk the hands forward as you slowly lower the long spine down towards the mat. Breathe in through the nose and out. Settling your movements, connecting with breath and the space that creates in every powerful moment, drawing us back to where we are in our practice. As we're drawn inward into now, we travel away from the past and our story about it, the things we made up about our past, with limited understanding our entire life. We can be honest about that. We can be honest about the fact that we don't know everything. We can be comfortable with that, around the fact of not knowing everything. We can realize that we actually don't need to know all. The joy, the workability, the prize in life is discovering it as we go. That's how we find all these things that we think we're looking for. They're trying to attach to us from the outside world inwardly. They're all here already. We just return back to them. It's a simple path. So come back wherever you are. Breathing through your nose into your center and slowly back out. Just keep the breath moving in through the body, opening up space, connecting with life, and energy, and vitality at your center, and slowly back out. Notice anywhere there's tension. This is a posture where we can get into where we drift off. We go into deep spaces. Before we realize it, the shoulders become sore. We're not active in the posture. Over time, we just start to collapse and cave into what's working. And when we take our awareness off of that, we get back into the grocery list or the what happens in life, we start to slump in to where the wound is. We start to slump in to where that is. We can do this habitually and not even notice. So that's what I'm saying. Notice where the tension is in your shoulders. Again, it's a physical metaphor, the way we can live our lives. Notice anywhere there's tension. Let your pose be remade. Allow yourself to give the weight of your body into the foundations for support. And if we're doing extra work, holding ourselves up, that's taking away from our present. So we release that. Allow things to shift. Allow things to shift. Let's take one more breath here together. Take a full breath into the top. Slowly release. Lock your hands in. Gather yourselves as we transition. Support your hands under your body. Press through the palms. As we begin to send the hips up high, rolling over the right toes, stepping the left foot back, turning into down dog. On your next breath in, come up high to the toes. Just raise up high to the toes, pressing through the hands, send the energy up high. And then exhale, lower your knees down towards the mat. Cross the feet together behind the hips. Rest your hips down behind your heels. Extend the legs forward through the center of the mat, bringing the legs together. Place your hands upon your thighs. Sit up straight through your body. Relax through your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Maybe just lean forward just a little. Send your energy rearward just a little. And then press through your tailbone, through your seat. Send your energy up through the spine. Find that just right middle, erect, seated. Soften through the shoulders. On the next inhale, and raise your hands up high above your body. Raise them up. And then exhale, lower them back down towards the thighs. We'll roll through the spine, lowering our shoulders down towards the mat as we lay down onto our backs. As we take resting pose, Savasana, set your feet wide to the sides, hands wide to the sides. Set your palms face down for just a moment and walk your fingertips away from your body. Lift your hands away from your body, opening up a little space in your shoulders, and then soften, release the movement, release the form, rest onto the mat. You can turn your hands palm face up or leave them palm face down. Just settle your movements in this time of rest. Our focus on our breathing, our intensity in our practice, no more need for that. We're resting. We're taking time to rest. And we practice resting because it's the one thing that we can often forget. We can forget to rest. We all do that. We might sleep, and though we might sleep, we still may never rest. It's this practice of being present and aware handles all these issues in our life. This practice of breathing, moving into our feet, doing just enough to support our weight, and anything extra, we save that energy for other things. We don't waste our energy on things that are impossible, broken, or not working. So again, we find ourselves in a beautiful time. They're great challenges, for sure, but also a time where we can take the opportunity to be who we need to be. It doesn't matter what happened and how we got here. It's that we got here. It's that we're all here. We're practicing finding our choice around it. We're giving ourselves permission to do things just a little bit differently, to find the workability in things. And if any of you have spent a lot of time with children or just in and around the community, you realize that it's what's needed. When we slow down in our busy middle-aged and adult lives and retired lives, we realize that there's a whole world coming up underneath us, and they're walking into these problems. So in our practices, we really just learn to finish the business in our present moments. Because the more awareness we can create around our own business as we travel through our lives, the less of that business we leave behind unfinished. We're coming to a place quickly in society, in life, where it's time to finish the business. So, business at hand is rest, meeting our needs, not going beyond our foundation, taking time to live our lives more presently and what's workable, because there we find what's sustainable. If we find that sustainability and workability around these powerful aspects in our transformational lives, creating space in our lives for new possibilities, new discoveries, new ways of being, and freedom from our rigid beliefs that even got us here. That would be a powerful thing to grasp. And yet in every breath of our practice, that's all we're doing at every moment. Whether we're aware of that fact or we're sleeping and dreaming, that's what we're always doing. So let's just practice continuing to increase awareness around our business. So we get it all done and leave none of it behind. And if it's unnecessary, if it's old business, it doesn't need to no longer be done, we can release it from the books. We can let it go. So thank you for your practice today. You remain here in Savant for as long as you need, taking your rest in your space, in your home, receiving anything from the practice is going to sustain you today. And if we carried something that was too heavy for us up to this point, we don't have to pick it up when we come off these mats. We can just move subtly into a new course for our day in our home. We can do the next thing that we've been really wanting to do, and also releasing the story that we can't. So enjoy your space, enjoy your time. I have nothing to read for you today. Just this space that you've created. Stay in it for as long as you like. A little bit over in class today, and we started a little bit late. That's all right. Somewhere along the way, we met it where we needed to meet it. High road, low road, it's all the same. Fast, slow, doesn't matter. Everywhere we go, there we are. So now that we're in our home, now we're in resting place. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere to get. Right here. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your practice, yogis. Stay for as long as you like on the mat. See you next time. Oh, my schedule's changing next week, possibly. I've heard rumors. So whatever we need to do, yogis, in this time. So be flexible, be open, and thank you for your time and support. Thank you for coming to the classes online. I can't wait to see us in the classes again when we get to move our sweaty bodies into real classrooms and have our practices together in those spaces. But in the meantime, grateful that we have this. Enjoy your time on the mats. Thank you for your practice, and I'll see you soon. I think my next class is Monday at noon. So thank you very much. Namaste.